Vega, by thy name, take one.
That's technically take two, but
Yo, we're
we
on.
here.
We're on.
We're on?
We
All
live.
right,
Hello.
We're back. Store credit. A little bit of store credit. I'm Briss or Chris, whatever you want to call me.
DC
Next to
here.
me, got DC.
What's up?
Andy, Pocket Man.
Happy New Year's.
Happy
Oh,
New Year's
Happy
to
New Year's.
everybody.
Yep.
And then today we have a legend,
Thank
one
you
of
for
our
the
closest
compliment.
friends, big sneakerhead. We have Vega.
What's up, everyone?
Hello, Vega. Welcome.
Thank you for everyone, too. I got a lot of comments and messages. They're like, oh, you need to do the podcast, the SB one. So it's a privilege to do with my good friends and the shop that I only mess with now. So
Yes, sir.
I'm excited to show you guys and tell you guys a little bit about the early days of Nike SB and what, catapulted to be this superstar monster, what it is today.
Yeah, Vega, low key, even kids in my DMs were saying like, "Yo, you gotta get Vega on the podcast." So
Yeah, it's funny because I'll get all these DMs from all these people, and they're just, how do you get all this stuff? And I don't know. They always like to ask me questions. I try not to be rude because they want to know. They don't know what the stuff I do have or why I have it. So I'm just kind of tell them, I don't know. Why don't you just do your sneaker history? Just kind of go back to, because when I used to buy shoes when I was a kid, I would spend hours just learning about Jordans, Dunks, everything. I just like learn the history,
On the blogs and everything.
It's kind of like wearing a band T-shirt. You're wearing a band T-shirt and someone's gonna ask you 3 songs and you don't know them. You're gonna look like a punk and a poser. So I was like, I'm not gonna be a poser when I'm wearing my shoes.
Yeah. So you were like kind of doing your due diligence on like everything, just because you genuinely liked it.
Right. Especially, I got into Nike when I was at that stage in my life, probably like 14, 15, where I started I want to separate myself from everyone else. Like my heroes growing up skating was Jamie Thomas and Eric Costin. Jeez. And I started seeing these guys wearing like designer pants, skating in like 7 jeans, diesels, and they were wearing like Nike. Costin was wearing just Nikes and Jordans on the side. So I was thinking, just because I skate, there's no reason why I could dress a little different or have to, wear skate branded stuff.
Yeah.
And this is when I saw that SB catalog with Richard Mulder holding the Supremes. That was barely floating around, and that's when I knew Nike was going to come up with the SB line. So I was super into it. So I was just like, this is a perfect time for me to separate myself because I was always like, a legendary skater. No offense in my hometown. So I actually have my first pair of Dunks right here.
First pair?
Yeah, this is my first pair. This is a size 8.
Fuck.
I got these at Foot Action because, like I said, everything was still in a loop. There was no Nike skate shoes. It was just Dunks and Pro Bs. So I begged my mom to get me these, and then I got them, and I swear, when I wore these to school the next day, it's like if everyone saw the Antichrist, they're like, dude, I sold my soul to the devil. I was always wearing Americas, S's, all that.
Yeah.
And they're
Oh,
like,
you got
dude,
those
he's
on.
wearing the swoosh on his foot.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought it looked so dope. And it was just no one was doing it. And then I got a pair of Sharks. That was my first pair of SBs. Thomas Bonilla gave me those. He used to skate with Daniel Shimizu. And we also used to skate West Covina Park and Rosemead Skate Park together. So that was my first handy-down of SBs. And I don't know, I got hooked. I thought they were dope and the colors were so different and unique. So I don't know, it was just something that it just kind of happened organically, and then Nikes were really, really hard to get because you couldn't find them anywhere. Only small shops had them like selected. And who realistically could afford to skate in a pair of $100 shoes?
facts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
because
that was your first dunk.
Dude, this is my first Dunk. And oddly enough, because, I've sold a lot of stuff and I don't know, these happen to just stay there. So it's kind of creepy, Like they've been so many homes with me and they're still here. And I don't know, now it means a lot to me, just kind of, who has the first pair of, something that would
Literally.
change their life.
I would have sold my shits already.
Yeah. I know. And then I saw Travis Scott wearing a pair. I'm like,
There you go.
that was my first, dude.
So what was your first pair of SBs?
The Sharks. The Sharks were my first SBs. And then I think I got hooked when the Silver Box era came out because that's when they actually had actual skate shoes. Because it was, like I said, the first orange box was just like a test run. Because if you even look at all those videos from 01 to 02, early 03, all those dudes are skating in like Euro Dunks, Foot Action Dunks, and even Jordan 1s. So there wasn't really a skate shoe.
Yeah.
But this one is my favorite one other than the FC, sorry. The EQ, look at this thing. Jeez. This thing is bulletproof.
cool.
So back in the day, look at, even it says on the tag, engineered to the exact specifications of world-class athletes. So to me, this was like their first skate shoe, if that makes sense. It's not a retro. So I was super down with it. And back in the day, shoes were all about padding. And look how crazy this insole is. It's so insane for the time. I remember all my friends were just tripping out how thick the insole was. So they would legit, they would get, the ones, do you remember when Active would have like the tent sales? Because this shoe wasn't like the best selling shoe. So people would my friends would buy the shoes, or sometimes would even steal the insoles from the shop and just put it in their skate shoes, like in their Reynolds and stuff. So yeah, it was pretty sick.
Damn, bro. And I feel like even around that time, because I know I used to skate in Etnies a lot, because I just really like, or even like like Moe's Nose, the Lakais.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
yeah,
even
yeah.
those, but I feel like even skating in dunks and SBs was something like, that was like a movement, like, yo, this dude's really doing, like, you had to be a good skater to skate in that. Because I feel like if you didn't, it'd be like, yo, this dude's just wilding out. It's like that's like a lot of people say, like, if you get all the best tennis gear and you don't even know how to fucking play tennis.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
And so many of my friends were so anti-SB. Like, oh, those shoes look so ugly. That brand's going to die, blah, blah, blah. And those were the guys I ended up selling their first dunks to after those diamond dunks came out and everyone magically wanted Nikes. And I was like, I thought those shoes suck. And, like, you guys were using such hateful comments. And then they were just like, damn, this dude got lucky because, I don't know, I was just genuine to what I was into. And when I was skating, my boys, Josh Lopez, he introduced me to all the guys at Active San Dimas. And that was my core shop. We had Sean Apgar, he's the owner, co-owner of Grizzly Grip Tape now. Craig McDonald, another skateboarding legend, used to run Huff for many years. Now he's a manufacturer at Lakai. So he's doing a lot of crazy stuff. Those guys are legends, Yeah. Sean opened up all these actives. So yeah, once I knew they were getting the SBs and stuff, I never had to worry about getting any shoes ever. I get everything on hold, no question. And then I was fortunate enough to get introduced to Robbie Jeffers, who was the Nike skate manager and the Stussy manager. So I'm not even lying. I used to see this guy at demos. He would give me a trash bag full of clothes. He just say, oh, what's up, blah, 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 blah. And then, be some shoes in there. I got, I would help set up the demos. And just because of that, they're like, oh, you set up the demos, you can skate with these guys. And then I got cool with a lot of the Nike SB guys. And, I'm not going to say who gave me stuff, but it's not really hard to tell who had my size at that time. But, I was given a lot of stuff. If you always trip out, this is one of the greatest collabs ever, the Supreme High.
Yeah.
How many pairs of these do you think I've had? And I skated more than half of them, just guess.
A good amount, I would say.
More than probably
than a
like
handful.
20, 21 pairs.
Jesus.
And I went through them. I know I got gifted a lot. I was just telling my friend that he used to skate with P-Rod, this dude, Joey Kella. He gifted me a pair of red Supremes and some wheat Forbes. And we never even met. He's just like, hey, I saw you skating at Walter Reed. I think you're cool, like blah, blah, blah. Just chatting, this AOL messenger. And I thought it was full of shit, because you use at the age, some kids are a little jealous of each other, whatever. I thought it was cool, dude. Man, just gifts me these shoes. I was like, wow, that's pretty nice of you,
Yeah.
But
That's awesome. Yeah.
it used to be like that back in the day. It's kind of like the I scratch your back, you scratch mine. And I kind of always stuck to that. Now everyone's just after money, this and that. So it's changed a lot.
Yeah, and then I also feel like even stuff like that where you're saying like I scratch your back, you scratch mine. I think a lot of those, I think even being with them, like it's just, that's why I obviously fuck with Syndicate so much. I'm here,
You're
but it's
right.
just like that thing
Same.
where it's like it's unspoken.
Of
like
course.
we just do it
Right.
unwillingly,
Yeah.
like doing stuff like that. Like where I help you guys out, you help me out. How do you
Yeah.
think the sneaker, like I guess even the game and obviously the market has changed from when you were into it, obviously till now? Because you definitely see the SBs go up and then go back down, go up, go back down. Like how do you feel about where it's at right now in the market?
I mean, I think the thing I don't like is they're going to the wrong people. I think there's kids like me and many other people back in the day that wanted them to skate them or even to wear them to, show off their fashion or whatever.
Yeah.
So that I think it's fair. It's really unfair with the bots and all these raffles and all the back doors. So I always thought skate shops should give, number one, to their employees, and two, to the dudes who are loyal to them, just to hang out at the shop, just they come out and kick it. I used to be one of those kids, just helping around, and I'll buy my deck there. I'll go there when I, get some Christmas money. All shops see that stuff,
Yeah.
and that longevity is gonna take you everywhere with the shop.
No, yeah, I feel like you're right about they're going to the wrong hands, because I always say this about any type of sneaker. sneakers are so low because nobody's wearing them right now.
Right.
So I feel like if people wear the shoes, like any shoe, SBs, Jordans, those less DS pairs would be in the market. So then people would be more in demand for this shoe.
Right.
And I know, what was the shop? What was the shop in the Lower East Side that everybody used to go to? Labor?
Yeah, Labor Skate
Was
Shop.
it Labor? The one in Dime Square. So that one, they
Yeah.
were cool because they would literally like, all their homies would get held down.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of them would sell them, but some of them would skate them. But
Yeah.
it was all like, they would never announce it on Instagram saying like, hey, we're getting these shoes, blah, 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 blah. Because I remember Nelson was really close with them. If it was Labor, I could be wrong.
Well,
But
Yeah, he would get most of the drops.
he would
from them.
literally every drop he'd come
Yeah.
to the shop and he'd be like, yo, I'm hyped. And Nelson, he doesn't skate that much no more, but he would wear all the SBs.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
literally
yeah.
he loves SBs, so he'd wear them all the time. But
I-
yeah, I think them going into like the wrong hands or just the reseller right away, it kind of sucks because then the market starts up so high and people kind of give up on the shoe, and then on sneakers you can't even get the shoes.
No,
anymore.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never even tried to get shoes on one of those apps.
Yeah.
It was because SBs is what launched off my interest in every other shoe. I remember it was a skate demo, and Danny Soup was wearing a pair of Biotech trainers. So I thought that was so tight. And then, when he's skating, he's wearing a pair of, I think he was wearing some URLs or some Dunks. So you got your skate shoes, and now I got my shoes of chillin'. So that's what got me hooked on Jordans. So I remember my first paycheck, I won a Riff. No, sorry. My first paycheck, I won a Fight Club. And then I bought a pair of Bread 2001 Breads. I wanted those so bad.
Yeah.
And I put them, first paycheck, put them straight on my feet. And the guy was like, damn, that's so sick. And I was like, I've been wanting these shoes for so long. And that's what got me addicted to sneakers. Not necessarily SBs, but that's
Just
what,
sneakers
just
in
that
general.
feeling of, working and you could achieve something, if you put a little effort into it. So it
Yeah.
felt really good.
No, yeah, I feel like we all kind of have that story of like getting a little bit of money and then
Right.
running right away to get your first pair of shoes. Like my first pair of SBs was through Rift too. I got Hunters.
Yeah, that's one of the
and
best. Reese is the best
They were
designer on that whole team.
160, and I remember I would see them at Flight Club for like 350, 400, and
That
I
was
was
a
just like,
steal.
"Yo, 160 is a fucking steal."
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
I took the bus from Bell, the bus, then the Blue Line, got off, walked from Alameda and 7th, where the McDonald's is, walked to Riff.
Damn.
That's a cool little walk.
It's a cool little walk. So
Yeah.
people know that walk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
so-
there was no Ubers back then,
no, there was
guys.
no
You-
Uber,
no
nothing.
Ubers.
So that's what me and my homies would do. And I remember I was just like so hyped to get this pair of shoes because I
Yeah.
was just like, yo, my first SB, I thought it was the shit because it said Reese Forbes on it.
Yeah.
Because they were Hunters, but technically it's a Reese Forbes. So I
Yeah.
was just like,
was his
I
shoe.
can't afford these other ones. You
No,
know,
I get it,
I'm gonna
yeah.
get this one.
Yeah. I was always, and to this day, I'm actually wearing Reese Forbes shoes right now.
Yeah.
There we go.
Favorite
Good
designer
ones.
on that whole
Oh,
that
yeah,
whole
we gotta
team.
fit you.
Favorite designer, but even if I wear Dunks these days, they're only skate related Dunks or a signature colorway. I don't, I would never wear a Grateful Dead dunk, or there's so many I wouldn't wear. They're so just too colorful.
Yeah.
But the dunks that were good this year, in my opinion, the dunks of the year SB wise would be the Huffs and then the neck face. Those were really good ones.
Yeah, the neck face, actually, DC hates them.
Yeah,
But-
I'm not crazy over them, but low key, every pair we get is.
But
in
that
and
is
out.
one of the
Yeah.
best selling shoes in
Yeah.
this store. Like
And-
where you don't
Can't
even
even knock
notice
it.
it. 225 to 250.
Yeah, that's a fair price
Yeah.
too, because everything's
Yeah.
300 to 500 now for a
Yeah.
decent shoe. Let's
No,
be
I-
honest.
And then those Huffs. I hate the Huffs.
I like the
personally.
And I like those.
And he likes the Huffs.
No,
So
Huffs,
it's funny
they're
because
good.
those shoes, I don't love the neck face, but I think it's a good shoe.
Yeah.
The Huff, I just feel like it could have been done a little better,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Like, I feel like they shouldn't have made the cutout because when you cut it out,
You know, it's super hard to cut out too.
yeah, it's too
Yeah,
deep
it's a
in
super
there.
thick leather.
Yeah.
And they should have done a fat tongue.
It
that
feels a
sh-
little different
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
That
it
shoe,
does.
fat tongue, no cutout, I would have had like 2 pairs of them shits.
Yeah.
It should have at least had the fat tongue for
Yeah.
sure, because that's like the DNA of a SB, like
Yeah.
the fat tongue. Like even I feel like when they stopped doing the fat tongue for a while in like the blue box era, I feel
SB
like
died out.
yeah, SB died out. People got disinterested in it because it kind of like that's like its signature, the fat
Because
tongue
that's
on
what
the
you would
dunk.
buy SBs for.
Yeah.
Of
You
course.
wanted the
Yeah,
fat
yeah.
tongue.
Correct.
Literally, I remember when, what's it called? Like Paul Brown's. Everybody wanted Paul Brown's because it was a high top with a fat tongue.
Yeah, the Timberland looking ones. Yeah,
And
those
I
are
couldn't
dope.
afford them. So when Shoe Goose came out, they had a fat tongue. I was just like, I'm all over this shoe. Like,
Same.
yo, fat tongue, high top, I'm in.
Dude, it's so
They look
funny.
crazy.
When I would actually get flat tongue dunks from, let's say, Foot Action, I used to stuff the tongues. A lot of people did.
Yeah.
And then
They
there
would
wa-
cut it, right?
Yeah,
And
you
then-
cut
yeah.
it, and then there was posted a story on Instagram the other day. There was a Vegas dunk. Did you remember those? It was a wheat one. It's basically like this
The
one.
one with the navy on it.
Yes. So
Yeah.
what I did to that one, I used to bleach the swoosh. And then I stuffed the
Ah.
tongue. No one ever knew it was a Vegas. They thought it was a wheat Forbes. So
Yeah.
it was a broke man's wheat Forbes. It was dope.
That's funny.
I remember like during that era, like customizing shoes was like a big thing, and
Yeah.
it wasn't like customizing to make them look like ugly or anything, but it was just like cutting the tongues. I remember people would cut the thing that holds the tongue back.
The
too.
straps.
Oh, yeah,
the
the
straps. They
straps.
would cut that out.
I never understood that. Why
Me
would you cut the
either.
straps?
I remember even like infrared sixes, people would remake the sample and put like the infrared sole on them and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
2000, ISS and Nike Talk would have people like redoing like little things, but it was
Yeah.
just like it'll make the shoe look crazy.
That's the first time I saw a Louis Vuitton logo on a swoosh. It was Nike Talk.
Yeah.
With someone it was a Jordan one, black one mid. Yeah, I actually have a pretty dope story about this one. So this was a Cali dunk. It's always one of my favorite SP stories. So back then they used to do a thing that actually was Nike would bring out a table and they would show like the salesman samples, whatever's coming out within the next next few months. And this was gonna be a really big shoe. This was as big as a Supreme collab or whatever. And I remember seeing Brian Anderson skating this. I was talking to him a little bit, and he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "They're all right." He's like, "Honestly, the same thing." He's like, "I'd rather skate a Blazer." So whatever, ignore it. And then I don't know, a few minutes into it, I just kind of see like the team manager at the time was still Stan Smith. No, Sam Smith. Sorry, he was the team manager at the time. And then he gets on the intercom, and someone stole the Cali Dunk display, and so he's pissed because now, as a manager, your superior is gonna be, why is that shoe missing? Absolutely.
How'd you let it get jacked?
Yeah.
Right, and there's a horde of people. So this dude goes on the intercom and says, "Hey, whoever took that Cali Dunk, I need it back, and whoever finds it for me, I'm gonna give you a Paris Dunk." And the shoe, a Paris Dunk, and it was not found. Yeah,
For those who don't know, give a little background on that Paris dunk.
I think it's I mean, at the time it was probably worth $5,000-$10,000.
Yeah.
Now it's probably 10 times that.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
$100,000.
Yeah, I think it was
Easily.
one of the first SBs that I couldn't believe, because I think SBs at the time, even 1,000 was crazy. I think the Supreme Lows was the only shoe going for like 1,000 at that time, and that one was like around like 5K, and I just was like, wow, that's insane.
No,
But
I remember recently Ryan Cooper, he posted up the old Flight Club like
the wall,
the main
sticker?
page the main page on the website, and he had SB's highest to lowest.
Yeah.
And it was like Paris is for 5K, Diamond Dunks were $1,000, all that stuff. And I remember that era, I would do the same thing. I would click highest to lowest, and I'd just be like looking at these SBs on my computer, and I'd be like, damn, I'm never gonna afford any of these shoes.
no, yeah,
Like,
exactly. It's
and-
crazy.
Yeah, Flight Club was like the best website because you would literally have the bangers, like all the bangers up top, and I would just be like, fuck. And then now you think about it, all those shoes were steals.
Yeah, I know, it's
Yeah.
crazy. What would you say is the most you guys paid for a pair of SBs?
Ever?
Yeah, or in trade value.
Honestly,
whatever.
it wasn't a lot. Like, to keep it a buck, I like SB, but I didn't have too many.
I've
Like,
never
what-
seen you wear a pair of
What
SBs.
people like
Yeah,
think.
would assume, right?
Yeah.
Same with me. Everyone thinks I still have a lot. I don't have that many left.
The most I paid, which was not too long ago, was probably What the Dunks, 2 pairs.
Oh yeah,
I bought one on GOAT for $1,500.
Really good.
that's.
And I
sick.
remember me and him were talking about it. I'm like, yo, I want What the Dunks.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I need them. Like, I was like so horny for this shoe.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And I was just like,
never
because
liked
this
it,
is
too.
when Travis was wearing all the SBs, and I was just like, if Travis gets to this shoe before me,
It's cooked.
it's cooked. Like, it's over. It's $5,000. So I bought two
you already
pairs.
know it's coming then.
Yeah, well, he was wearing all the
Yeah,
SBs,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it's a matter of
SBs.
time.
Okay, that's
before
almost
he
like
gets to
right.
it. I bought one from GOAT for $1,500, and then I bought another one from NetMag for like $22 DS. So I bought a used one
Wow,
and a new
that's
one.
a crazy
So
steal.
2 What the Dunks for $3,700, and they came in, and the used one looked new,
Yeah, it was clean as
and
hell.
I was just like, and then what was it, like a week later, Travis wore it.
Yep.
Yeah, a week later, Travis wore it, and I remember one of the
Perfect
employees
timing.
at round 2 was just like, yo, how did you know? Like, did you talk to anybody? And I was just like, no, bro, it's just a matter of time before Travis got to this. Because Travis was literally going from SB to SB to
Yeah.
And
SB
he
to
liked
SB.
like those earth tone colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, like he wore Newcastle dunks. Newcastle dunks were $150, $200. Now every
they're
kid
like
comes in
$1,000.
here.
$600 shoe now, right?
We got to
600
use one
used
right
right
there.
there. Throw
That's
that, Rob.
insane.
600.
Right there.
Crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was over here by the Shake Shack on Santa Monica.
Yeah.
where he was
Travis
just, like,
wore
chilling
this.
like
This
that.
shoe was worthless.
Yeah.
Travis wore it, went up to $1,000.
Wow, bro.
Wow.
Even the ones at Vega, his first dunk, he wore those too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I don't think he wore Reese Wheats though. I'm surprised he didn't. It's right up his alley too.
It is.
Oh, we gotta do
Alright.
the fit check. We forgot about that. So you can get up and then
break it
in the
down.
middle of the camera, we'll break it down. Y'all break it down because you know what's going on.
Somewhere thrifted, I don't know where.
Oh.
Copenhagen, rock sweater that I got in Denmark.
Yes, sir.
Louis Vuitton, Virgil,
LV.
LV, Millionaire's my signature.
Yes,
and
sir.
some Reese Wheats.
Damn.
Reese Forbes.
It's a good fit.
Nice.
Vega wears SBs with designers, so he wasn't lying about that.
yeah,
And then
Yeah,
He-
yeah.
he
Because
be
I'm
putting
telling
it
you, I
on, for
saw
real.
Costin skate in you remember the white monogram Louis Vuitton belt that was a rainbow one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him skating in that, and I was like, dude, that looks so sick. So
Yeah.
I think I really, really think he was a big dude who was changing up the culture on that. He was doing that, and then P-Rod too. Before he was on the swoosh, he was always like skating some nice stuff.
So would you say that like all these people that you were like looking at were kind of like your style inspiration? Like when-
Definitely. Richard Mulder, he was wearing everything that I liked. You know, he's skating for Stussy, Nike SB. So I copied a lot of him.
Yeah.
And then depending what I was skating, for sure I would put on certain shoes.
Yeah.
Like if I was just gonna ollie something, like Reese, I think has the best ollie in the game, so I'd put on some EQs and some cargo style pants. If I'm doing like something more techie, like skating some benches, I used to skate in 7 jeans and then probably some FCs. So I definitely like if I'm filming a clip, it's like all right, I got to put the outfit on, you
Yeah.
know, a little bit.
I remember when P-Rod came on the scene, it was like same thing. Like it was a big style inspo because Hispanic,
Right. Golden Goose.
baggy jeans,
Yeah.
SBs.
Good looking kid.
Yeah, I was just like, yo, like this kid is the future. So
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't skate, but I know how to cruise. Like I could cruise a board like the
Right,
best
right,
of them.
right.
Like I remember in New York, I would skate.
Just
through
don't
New
ride a
York.
longboard.
Yeah.
Longboard's pretty.
No, literally just a regular skateboard.
We don't do that. Yeah.
I love a
Or
regular
none of those
skateboard.
cruisers, dude.
And it's funny because everybody thinks I like could actually skate because of how well I cruise around in a skateboard.
Yeah,
I could get
yeah.
on the sidewalks. And
Could you
everything.
ollie?
I could get on the sidewalks. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's
like,
not bad.
yeah.
Could you
That's all you
kickflip?
need.
No.
Do a kickflip.
No, I can't. For sure can't. No, like when people assume I skate, I'm just like, I could ride a board like great. Like I remember going through New York cruising, like, and everybody would just assume because they would see me going down from
Right.
Soho to the LES, smashing, like hanging out to cars.
Yeah,
doing all that
yeah,
shit.
you're bombing it, bombing
Yeah,
it.
so they would think like, oh, this motherfucker can skate, but I'm just like, bro. I just
So
know how to-
it's actually completely opposite for me. People see me, they don't even think I could ride a skateboard, and then they'll see some old clips from me like, damn, you used to
No, yeah,
skate.
when you post your old
yeah,
clips,
and I'm
I'll
like,
be
yeah,
like,
I used to
yeah.
skate.
Yeah.
Like I used to skate, you
Yeah.
know? So, but yeah, I remember like still this is 2002. No, this is 2003, and just before they announced P-Rod, and this is from what a little bird told me, they actually wanted Costin first,
Yeah.
and Costin declined that. So I mean, I don't know. I probably regret, probably not, but I think they hit with P-Rod. That was a straight golden goose.
Nah.
He was the perfect face, like you said, Hispanic, young, good looking. And to this day, the dude has a clean record. You know,
Yeah.
he's
never
an
been in-
example. Yeah, like you know,
Yeah.
role model for
the
kids.
Yeah.
He's an actor on TV shows.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then he's an amazing skater. You know, he was definitely in my top 3 greatest of all time. He's just a machine, and dude, I think without him, that think the brand wouldn't went to that magnitude because they had their core skaters, but they're not like a Tony Hawk, or, and they're not an Eric Costin. They're more of the street skaters that they have this, they earned their, they
Yeah.
paid their dues. So I think P-Rod was, in my opinion, the perfect captain for that team. And
Not-
then look at all the stuff they did around him.
Yeah, and I feel like the reason why it works so well, because I remember when he was started coming up, I was skating, I was getting into it, and I remember it was so crazy to me because like once me and my brothers, my cousins started really skating, going to skate lab, like going everywhere.
Oh, skate
you
lab's
could
dope.
literally see, like you could see him anywhere.
Yeah.
Like I was telling him, like he was like just walking everywhere, like he was obtainable.
Right,
so
right,
it made
right,
him.
right.
I feel like it made me and everybody else feel like, damn, like he's really out here like doing stuff. So it made him seem even cooler that he wasn't too cool to like not be seen.
He's the
anywhere,
nicest
you know?
dude ever. He'll
Yeah.
definitely take his time to talk to you. This is a dope one.
There we go.
Single de Mayo autographed by P-Rod. He wore this when he won his first X Games title. He
Yeah.
wore these shoes.
Jeez.
So I know this one means a lot to him. He always gets stoked when he sees this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember even so he got hurt and then showed the what the paw.
Oh yeah, this is. Oh, I don't get what.
What the paw? He's
What
getting
the paw is
bag.
low key like one of my favorite SBs ever. One
Oh,
because
for
it's
sure.
P-Rod, and because they used all his signature models in that shoe.
Yeah.
Like what
Yeah,
people
they-
don't understand, those are actual real shoes. It's not just shoes thrown into one.
They mixed all his signature model shoes into it.
Yeah, not regular dunks, like
Yeah.
all
And this
P-Rods.
was exactly what you said. This is my favorite shoe when it came out of the year because what it represents.
Yeah.
And for me, like I said, I was a skater. I've been a skater before I was a shoehead any day. And Paul actually was kind enough. Paul actually was kind enough to sign from these at the Nike party that was 2 weeks ago, friends and family party.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see that guy and a lot of people I grew up idolizing and old friends I haven't seen in 10 plus years, and it's really good. A lot of them are doing good, and some of them moved on to not living in the past, not wanting to be that.
Yeah.
So the thing I think that does suck for a lot of those guys, as talented athletes and skaters as they are and were, is kind of like a Reese Forbes. He's remembered more in the sneaker world, as the guy with the denim dunk.
Yeah.
I know him as the guy with the best all in the world power tail slide. So how would you feel if you're like Michael Jordan and everyone remembers you for your shoes?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a slap in the face, So have you noticed a lot of those guys when you talk Nike with them, when they've done interviews, they kind of cut it short. You know, they did more than just have skate Nikes. To me, they're pioneers in themselves.
Yeah.
Of course.
And even with that, the what the paw. Remember when you guys opened? Like we had what, like 12 pairs,
I
and they were
bet-
just
I might
sitting.
have to get
It was
that
more
other
than
one
that.
because I know there's a
No,
9.5
you
one.
undersold-
Nah.
we-
I need the
Yeah,
9.5
When
gang
shoe
of
one.
these.
came out,
More
I
pairs.
Yeah,
personally,
way more.
I personally had 30 pairs.
Bro,
Because-
Jesus Christ.
He bought one
Yeah.
of them. DC had like 20.
20,
So I
yeah.
think
Oh my God.
we opened the
50,
store with
yeah.
60 of these and like 100 Supreme Dunks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you guys
Got a
had
gang of
mad
both of
Star
them.
Bro,
ones.
we had them in the case. We
Yeah.
had them in the middle. We had them up here. We had them
remember that.
downstairs. They were everywhere, and they were only like 500. But I remember just seeing the shoe, and I believed in it so much because of the old What the Dunk.
Yeah.
I was just like,
I
yo,
thought it was better than what the
yeah.
dunk.
Like,
So
bro,
dope.
The way they made this shoe, they made it
Even
so
the rollout.
Good. Like,
Yeah.
Like him
Yeah.
actually coming back to skate after that injury, I was just like, yo, this motherfucker. And then he dropped that part. I was like, yo, he's
Yeah,
killing it.
so
Like,
sick. And he used his old Nas song that he used in Yeah Right.
Yeah.
I was watching that in Prague, screaming. Like, I was so stoked to see P-Rod
Yeah.
back on the board. And he did like a switchback Smith backside flip out on that curved ledge. Oof.
Bro,
Just so good.
like little me was just like, yo, let's go. Like I was
Yeah.
rooting, like watching this shit.
Yeah,
I was just like, yo, P-Rod was literally like, and I'm Rodriguez too, so I was just like, yo, like this is my cousin.
Yeah. You're Raul Rodriguez.
And you ever had SBs? I've never seen.
I've never had SBs. I literally, like I was saying, I only skated Lakais, Etnies, and like Vans.
Yeah.
And then those are my like go-to skate shoes. But then once I started getting into like, obviously like, okay, I'm gonna get into sneakers, Nikes, I would skate Jordan 1s. And then that's when I saw Lance Mountain do his Jordan 1, and I was like, oh shit. And it made me want to do it more.
Yeah.
Like, and people look at me like, yo, you're crazy. But I just thought it was pretty cool. To be
Oh, you
honest.
used to like Lance Mountain as a kid?
Not as a kid, but that's when I saw his shoe and I was like, oh shit, like this dude skates and they made a Jordan. It was just like, I don't know. It kind of clicked together, but seems like we gotta take a little break. Vega's getting ready.
Oh.
So we gotta
Before we
prep it up.
cut, speaking of Lance Mountain gifted me these. So
Jeez.
wow.
it's a Blazer. That's actually his favorite skate shoe. So I don't know. It means a lot to me, but
Just signed it.
it just
Signed
it
it
just
too.
stays there. We go to the same church, mess hall. So
Fire.
And
something new every
break
day.
There we
time.
go.
Crazy one too. All right, we're back.
Welcome back, everybody.
We're
took a
back.
little break.
Back in business.
Little break, pizzy.
We'll do a quick fit check for us. Andy, you go first.
I go first.
Bueno.
Cool. Here, Andy got probably some of the nicest vintage Levi's I've seen, low key.
a really good
And
pair.
he just got his new shoes that go really well.
The Traviesos.
I still need a pair of Traviesos. Those are sick. Yeah, I
So
do those.
Scott's,
That's a good one.
vintage.
Hey, the necklaces look cool too, though.
Calm.
Really cool.
Cool.
That looks
Super
cool.
calm.
Good flair.
Cool. So we got DC next.
DC's up next.
Fit King always.
Here we go.
He got-
Let him know on feet. On feet.
He's the reason why LA was raining so hard the last couple
What is
of
it?
days.
Wait, what y'all mean by that?
So the
The
drippiest.
drip.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I started, bro, when I saw this.
Okay.
So he
What are the
got.
shoes?
Let him know, DC. Let him know what you got.
Well, you can't.
That's a
You
pretty
don't-
rare
you don't
pair.
like.
He was trying to sell those to Vega.
He is gonna sell those to me. They're mine. Just I've been broke, so they're on
And then
layaway right now.
He got Dior pants.
Yeah, Dior pants.
He got the locks.
The locks, and then the good museum hat with all the little pins on.
That's why they're chilling. They're mine. They're just
Yeah.
me and DC already did an agreement.
Yeah.
So I'm broke. I travel too much.
I remember when he got those at round 2. Well, he got them on GOAT, and they got to round 2 New York, and he was like so hyped. And
Yeah.
this is he beat the curve too. Like,
Right,
he
right,
got them
right.
right before they shot up
That,
completely.
funny. This will be my 6th pair of those, and
Damn.
these have definitely made me my most money out of any SB. Like I have sold my last pair. I got for $225 on eBay, and then just before that, I bought a basically DS one for $550, and all of them I definitely made over like 2,000 something on each one.
How many of these did they make?
Supposedly 202, but I think more because I've seen too many floating around over the years. I don't really believe in production stuff. If it's numbered, then I do believe it. Other than that, I think you
They're
can
out there.
convince
Yeah.
people whatever. The moon is made out of cheese. It's the same thing, really.
First fit breakdown or not yet? Yeah, here we go. He got on the nice Stussy
Yeah,
Bergs.
he's looking like what's that guy's name? Al Borland from Tool Time
There
with
we
the
go.
flannel.
The Stussy Bergs, obviously good. Got the Vetements,
Vet memes.
little cargo pants, camo with all the little stickers on
Hey,
them.
show him the shirt though, because he was supposed to hold me one, and of course he sold it.
And then the
the
Siaga.
The best one.
the BB flannel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get a bootleg one off Fashion Nova because they do sell American Psycho shirts
Easily.
now.
Yeah, that was the New York pop-up tee. Shout out
Got
New
that
York.
good fade
Shout out
to it,
LES.
too.
Oh yeah, restocking soon. Yeah.
Yo, that's
it'll be there. We're
very
restocking it. Don't worry.
very Hunter inspired.
There we go.
Yeah, definitely.
Calm
Yeah,
vibes.
rate the fits 1 through 10. Everybody's name. Let's
Who
go.
had the best fit? Who did not? Let us
see.
know in the comments.
All right,
All
let's
right, Vega,
continue
what do you
on.
got? What do you got in your hand?
Dude, this is the original pothead shoe. This is the bonsai hemp.
Factual.
And this one supposedly there's one of 420. This one's more believable, but if not, it's still a dub shoe, and I think it's the best one. There's 3 of them. What colors do you guys like? The blue or the
Cascade.
Cascade would be second one, I think.
Yeah. I think the Cascade or that one.
Yeah.
The burgundy, I don't know why, because they released. I think there was a regular.
It looks
dark-
like a Journey's dog.
Yeah, it looks like
Oh my gosh,
And
who
those
hurt this
have like
guy's
the-
feelings in high school?
yeah.
so-
Those have like a slightly slimmer tongue too.
Yeah, they feel really weird. Honestly, I don't think they're the most comfortable shoe, but I have a dub story about these. So these actually did come out on 420.
Yeah.
So I was telling my friend, hey, there's no way I'm gonna miss those dunks. And then I was thinking, how am I gonna get them? So my boy Sean Apgar at the time, who was working at Active, I'm probably 15 or something like that. I don't know. He's like, I'll pick you up, take you to the shop. We have your pairs there. But they didn't have the green one. They only had the blue and the mahogany one because they were spreading them out throughout the Actives. They gave, I think, they only got like 20. So every shop got like maybe 2 or 3 each.
Damn.
And those were already given to the employees. They got first come. So I didn't get this one. But anyway, so he picks me up. We go to Active San Dimas. I ditch school. And I get the shoes. So he's going to drop me off at my house. I'm like, no. My mom's still there. I can't go there. So I'm like, fuck it. Drop me off at my friend Jonathan Flores' house. Because that's kind of like when you know someone for so long, you know access to their house. Their parents just know it's you. So I said, fuck this. I was so paranoid about my shoes. I put them behind his bulldog. And he had a crazy ass, like a Rottweiler bulldog. So I was like, if you're going to try to steal my shit, you're going to get your arm bitten off for sure.
gotta go
So
to the dog.
and then I went to school later. And then my friend, when he's like, oh, when they said my name, when they're, just like, hi, I'm here, whatever. He was like, dude, that motherfucker's going getting those shoes. And then he came with me to my crib afterwards. And this is before cell phones with pictures. He was so stoked. He's like, dude, I got to get a photo with you with the Polaroid camera. So I had like some photos. I don't know. I wish I had it, but I'm like hugging him. I was so stoked. And I put him next to my Supreme High set too. And I was like, wow,
Nice.
this is really cool.
Yeah.
And I was like 15. I
that
would
the
wear
first
sometimes I would
420
wear
shoe?
up to a different pair of shoes for almost up to 3 months. That's how loaded and plugged up I was.
Is that the first 420 shoe ever? Like that you know
SB
of?
wise, yeah, for sure.
It low-key started it though, no? Like as in for even other brands to do it. I don't think
I
there's
think
any
so.
other
Yeah.
brand that has done that before they did with that one.
I think it would have
And
been
they've
dope
continued
if they would have done the stash tongue.
Yeah.
That would have sick. The Musk inspired one, but the Skunks did it, and that's a really good one too. But this
Oh,
is
movie.
the 420 shoe because it came out on 420.
Is there any shoe that you haven't gotten yet that you're like, oh man, I wish that's a SB that I wanted?
No, I've had every SB I wanted.
Yeah.
I was never, I need Paris Dunks just because I thought they were a beautiful shoe, but I was never so intrigued by it, if that makes sense. I passed on a lot of hype shoes because when I started getting back to buying Dunks, I got them all at round 2.
Yeah.
And Sean used to hook me up because we would talk for hours, and he's all right, he's an OG. So he gives me basically for what he got them for.
dope.
So I was able to get that. I got his personal pair of denim Reese Forbes. That is the only shoe I regret selling, not because of the value, it's because of what it means to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that I do want back, and I might work a trade with someone, and I'm willing to let go of a few pairs, but that's, I think, to me, the best SB of all time.
Yeah. How was it? Obviously, we know that round 2 has closed down. How does that make you feel? Because like you were saying, you kind of got most of your SBs back or bought a lot. Like, how do you feel about that happening? And how was it when you were in there?
I think I went in there. Alex Imac, he told me that the store's coming up. He said they have a lot of dope shit, and it's really fair price. So I walked in there, and it was kind of, I got the nostalgia feeling. I haven't seen a lot of these shoes in 15 years or so. So they had a pair of wheat highs, the Timberland looking ones. And I used to be so into that shoe because it looks like a boot. So I tried them on, and he said, how much are these? I'm thinking probably like $400. He's like, I'll give them to you 150. They look dead stock.
Yeah.
I was like, $150?
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah. What people
So-
don't remember about round 2 is the SBs used to be behind us at the
Yeah,
register.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
And
only like a
there's-
handful.
There is pictures of round 2 when I first started. Supreme Dunks, Cement, Highs, Lows, Baby Bears, Set. Those, like, there was so much stuff in there just sitting. Literally, nobody would buy it.
Yeah, it was like 3 little shelves, and they were stacked up on each other, and then even some didn't fit. They were stacked up on.
Yeah,
the
they were
ones that
giving
on the
out
shelves.
steals
Yeah.
too.
Damn.
And I think, like I said, I was never really a reseller. If I sold shoes, it's because I needed money or I didn't want them.
Yeah.
I was never, that was never my shit. Like I never needed doubles.
Yeah.
I wore everything. Even when I buy shoes here, I wear them out the store.
Facts.
So that's why
Like
I
Keith.
think, I don't know, you should just stop wearing what your favorite rapper likes and wear what you like, you know? Because I see shoes and I see it. I want these on my feet because this is how it's going to complement my outfit.
Yeah.
This is how
Yeah.
it's going to make me feel. So I could do that even with the GR because I could make a GR look dope if I could wear it.
Yeah.
You know, with whatever, that the fit makes it. It's got to be symmetrical.
Yeah, sometimes it's like nostalgia plays into what you're wearing. Like me and DC just got the new Cement 3s.
Yeah. The
Cement
amazing,
3s.
beautiful shoe.
Like to me, it's just like a lot of people are like, "Oh, damn, you're wearing." Like somebody told me, it's like, "Yo, you actually like those," and I'm like, "Bro, it's nostalgic." You know, 2003 white
Oh.
cement is like one of my favorite shoes ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
it's
because
a
the
really
cement
good
print, we
shoe.
have it over there. So when that one came out and leaked, and then we got one in last Thursday, I was just like, "Yo, I need this shoe no matter what." Like, there's shoes that are GRs that we fuck with so much, and people are always just kind of like,
Why y'all like those?
"Why you like those? Why you like?" Like I
DC
think
likes the Sakai Cause. That's his shoe.
Bro.
he was pressed to wear that. He was pressed to wear
That
that.
was a bet that I lost.
But even
yeah.
like the new Fire Red 3s, they're so nice.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
250. It's just like there's so many good shoes right now, and if fucking Travis isn't wearing it, it's worthless right now.
no,
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. But I think the golden era of sneaker era for sure is 01 to 2006. So many insane good
Yeah.
shoes came out from Jordans, SBs, and some good Air Forces. So to me, that's usually the stuff I like to stay around. I don't get too excited for the new stuff. I do like, I'm not gonna lie, I do love Off-White because it's, to me, it's high fashion designer.
Yeah.
You know, and people see that tag, they know what it is.
Yeah, it is.
But do you think, all right, so like, you know, you're saying 2001, 2006, do you believe, because I feel like we've had a pretty good run of shoes, and I've said in the last podcast where like, I can't even be mad at a lot of these shoes we're getting right now because there's good stuff like the white cements, and even if you go back to like 2018, 2019, all the off-white stuff,
Yeah.
like, do you think we'll get to like, let's say 2030 and we'll be like, damn, like 2016 to 2022, we were getting some fire shit. Like,
I
do you
think-
think that like,
I think as everything has an evolution. So the generation that's before us, they're going to say that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I'll see some stuff and I don't even know what it is or when
Yeah.
I'm completely clueless about it. I have no history about it. maybe I'm that old school. Like I've never even bought a pair of shoes off StockX, Goat, nothing. I'm old school. I've only done Nike Talk or eBay.
Yeah.
Like that's just how I am. Even I thought a great shoe this year that flopped, Supreme Blazer.
Yeah.
It's $100 shoe, and I love that shoe. It's so sick.
If they would have put a white sole on that on the black one,
Yeah.
would have been fire. To
I
me.
like the all
Yeah.
black. It's dope, but
Like
I
the-
see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think for me a white sole would have been. I would have had 2 pairs of them. Like I would have been like, this is fire.
Do you think
Fuck.
it's?
That's two.
Do you think it's
20.
because like I remember we were talking about it a while ago where you were like, all these shoes are dropping, but you were like, Jordan Brand's not doing a good job of like seeding it to the right people to influence it. Do you think it's because of that a lot of these shoes are getting overlooked throughout each year? Because
It goes back
it plays
to
a part because then it's like these are the people that they call like influencers, what they think
Yeah.
people are
Right.
looking at, and they're not even wearing it. So it's like, and
it's just like they don't even try to wear it. Like, yeah, they might
Yeah.
be like they might be pretty influential people, but like you got to wear the shoes. Like,
Yep.
I remember back in the day, like it was the skaters, it was Kanye, it was like even Kanye gave his Yeezys to his team, to Virgil, Big Sean, all
Yeah.
that stuff. Like,
everybody from his camp.
so it's like they do a good job. Travis does a great job when he gets his shoes because I'm aware. Like,
Yeah,
Travis
he has,
says that. Like,
he
I'm
has
gonna put
the
it on.
best marketing team for sure.
Yeah, so Travis is like, I'm gonna wear this shoe and it's gonna go crazy, because like just like we say with everything, and if it has a name, we're gonna be interested in the shoe.
Right,
Like if you
right.
take like that, there's a shoe that looks just like the Travis Lowe's that's about to come out. That like white pony hair Jordan 1 low.
Oh, it's the Year of the Rabbit.
Year of the Rabbit.
Year of the
joints,
Rabbit.
yeah.
And there was a Voodoo one that came out too. That one was pretty
that
cool.
one looked like the Zion. That's a great shoe.
Same thing, look
but
like
yeah,
a
it's
Travis.
it's just like we get attracted by these names, and that's why Travis is so good. Tom Sachs
I mean,
is so good.
it goes back to even skate shoes. You know, you look at, let's say Jamie Thomas, your favorite skater. Of course, you're gonna buy his shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I definitely agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, so I just feel like people need to actually wear the shoe, and instead of just like dumping it and selling it for whatever it says on StockX.
And I think the problem now is that collaborations don't really mean a thing, and they're pumping out a new shoe every Saturday. So where's your marketing campaign for something that's supposed to be big?
There's like triple collabs now.
Yeah.
Bro, like there's
Literally.
triple collabs.
They're
Like,
like just throwing names on things and they don't even have like a story. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's like something that I feel like we all gravitate to when like sneakers that we like a lot of them have a backstory or at least a
Right.
story to us, and that's why they're nostalgic to us and why we feel like, yo, like I need that, or
the Lost and
want
Found
that.
was good. But
Yeah.
even like the Chicago 2, you could have told a story with that new 2 that just came out. It's so nice. They got the shape right. They got the leather right. But we're like turning it down for retail.
I get it. Yeah.
You get me? Like,
I thought it was dope what they did the Off-White too.
yeah.
That was really cool.
No, the Off-White
That
2
one
low
was
with the
really
signature was fire.
Yeah, and
Fuck,
it-
that's 30.
Yeah.
All right, so giving you guys an inside game with the
context.
context. So I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna get a pass for this one. Every time we say the word fire, because we say it so much, we
It's
gotta
the
do
F
10
word.
push-ups.
we read the comments, we listen to you guys.
Yeah. So right now I just did 40, and now I'm at 30 again.
'Cause you said it 3
So
more
70
times.
push-ups.
I
so
did
far-
I did 100 on
Yeah, so we're-
Saturday and Friday.
We're
since we
disciplining
started.
ourselves with with fuego in English.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's a good way to like break a habit. Because I remember I was listening to another podcast, and this dude's like, I always lose my wallet. I always lose my wallet. And he told him, he's like, a good way for you to stop losing it is every time you lose it, give your boy $100.
Damn.
He's like, I bet you off rip, you will stop like
Yeah.
losing your wallet.
Yeah, it's like, give
so
yourself
that's a good way. Like,
consequences, yeah.
I gotta do the push-ups.
It's
Yeah.
self accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
The
how
discipline.
you tighten up.
All right, back to it. I see
right.
you got another shoe out. Let us know about this one.
This definitely in the top 5, and I think, well, we'll get into that shoe next. But this is the first big collab that went out there, and I still think this is probably in the top 20 best sneakers of all time. Supreme Dunk Low, the
So
black
that-
one, and not the white one for sure. But what do you guys think of this? Because it's like a Jordan 3. And think about this is a SB. This
I
has
think
never
of
been
it
done
as like
at the
a
time.
very iconic shoe. DC still has them, so DC, that's like one of his favorites.
You don't like the white one?
I'm not really big. I'm not a fan of blue. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I don't know. I don't like how blue looks on me. I
You
love
know
black.
Who sold me these for a really good price right before they jumped up again, beating the curve?
Yeah.
Pete, New
Oh,
York.
really?
Vintage.
He sold me both of them for $750 a piece, a set,
That's come up.
and I was just like, I was so happy because that was my first time actually buying it myself. Like, as in, like, I would always see these at Riff around 2, and I was always just kind of like, oh, let the customer get it.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Right.
And then this one time, it was right before, again, Travis started wearing all the SBs, where I was just like, oh, I'm going to try to buy more SBs.
Yeah.
And then Peter brought these in, and I was just like, oh, they're my size. I literally, sometimes in my head, I'm like, I'm not letting these shoes walk out.
Of
no
course,
matter
yeah,
what.
no matter what, yeah, you're
If
gonna
you
make
know it's
sure.
your size,
Because if
something
you're
you
bringing
want,
something into a consignment
that.
store, you already want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Or you know.
No, yeah, that happened to me where I was just like, these 2 shoes are not walking out. They're mine, like 100%. So I told him like, yo, like, what do you want, straight up? And then he was just like, you're not gonna offer, and I was like, I'll give you whatever you want. And then he was like, $750 a pair. I think you could sell them for $1,000. And I was like, done.
Damn. I actually got that's my last pair I got here, and this is my favorite shoes. I got them from you guys.
It was
you
so cheap.
Yeah, I got a good deal. And thank you to you guys. We can't disclose that, but last not that long ago, do you remember the dead stock pairs I brought in here?
Yeah.
They look like they came out of a time machine, and I sold those 2 for $10K.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Chris was even telling me you just like because the market was bad for me. I
Yeah.
remember you telling me, but I found someone. I would have even took 8.5,
Yeah.
and I got 10 on
You
them.
almost took 35 each from us, and I
Yeah.
told you don't sell them to us
Yeah.
because I've never seen it. That shoe looked like it just came out yesterday.
Yeah, it looked
Yeah.
it's so immaculate. It
Yeah.
was so clean.
What was the most? Because obviously, like you're saying, you only resell when you need the money or when you just don't want the shoe.
Yeah.
What was the most money you made on reselling a shoe?
The denim Forbes and the Metacoms, I sold those as I sold those together, and off of just those 2, I made just under like $4,000. Probably that, or I don't know. I got those for nothing, so I don't know. Then I made some pretty decent money on the Supremes, but other than that, yeah, probably that deal. I made like just under like $4,000 profit, so
Yeah.
it was pretty nice.
Dang.
Good.
And I feel like even stuff like that, where we had Arian and Lucas, where they were saying like how the reselling thing is like kind of dying down now. How does it feel? Because I think like you were saying when you went to round 2, they were low, and I feel like
Yeah,
after
yeah.
that they went a little bit up, and I feel like now they're like going back down. How do you think like that? Basically, that chart is going where they come back and they go, and they come back and they go.
I mean, I guess it's an opportunity for anyone, and it's a disadvantage to a lot of people. Like, if you're doing this for like a living, you're relying on shoes, then I don't know, you probably should get another job. But if you have money and it's a good time to buy, then buy all that
Yeah.
shit. You know what I mean? Because you snooze, you lose. You know, you can't. That's how I was with a lot of stuff, especially off-white stuff. I got a lot of like my Euros. I got those for $650 DS, and look at how much they are now.
Yeah.
But I at the time I thought it was a lot. I got my UNC at round 2. They hooked me up for like a 600, 660, like that, something like that. And those are $2,000. The white one, I still got those. They're for sale, $4,000 by the way.
Yeah, literally.
I got to pay my debt with DC, so
Yeah.
you know.
It's always like waves, I feel like, because if you guys remember what DC brought it up earlier, the blue box era of SB, like
Yeah.
that is when like dunks were so cheap again. Like they were attainable. People were passing on them. Like you could go to skate shops and find these shoes. Like one shoe I trip out that Angel wears all the time is the Mosquito. Those were $49.99 at skate shops. Nobody wanted them.
That's crazy. Actually, and then it's crazy how much these are. I actually bought it looked DS. I got it at round 2 for $325.
Wow.
And this is a beat pair with my soles are cracked. I can guarantee you I can sell this for $1,800
Easy.
with no box.
No, easy.
Facts.
The Heineken, right?
Yeah.
Controversial shoe for sure.
And then even that, like I remember when I was working, I don't know if it was end of 2019 or 2020. We were there and somebody brought in like, I'm not even kidding, like 25, 30 pairs of blue box SBs.
Wow.
And then the buyer at the time was like, oh, we're going to pass on all of them because they didn't move.
Yeah,
And like, we're just
right,
going to
right.
have them and they're not going to move. We're going to put them like $50, whatever. And the guy was like, I'll take anything. So he passed. Luckily, Sean was like, yo, Sean, what's up? I'm trying to sell these. He's like, bet. How much you want? He's like, bro, I'll take anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Sean bought all of them, and he's like, fuck it, bro. We're putting them out for $50 to $100.
Damn.
And people were lined up the next day,
That
like
is so
trying to
tight.
get all of them. So it was even like that, where even I think we're like, oh, they don't move, but it was Sean still giving it that like that love.
chance.
Like,
You
I don't
gotta give it
care.
a chance,
We
yeah.
want people to like just still like, I guess still keep it alive, you know?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
for
I feel
sure.
like with buying, one thing that Sean understood was nostalgia. Like that is one thing that I got from him a lot. And I think one thing people don't get, when you buy, it's almost like taste making.
Yep.
It's just like, yeah, this shoe might go for $350 on StockX, but I don't like it. And also it doesn't like, what was it that we had in here that we gave for $1 that I call it the Yu-Gi-Oh! One.
Ooh.
It's like a Jordan 1
It
low.
was
Yeah.
a very
It was a
bad
very
looking
bad shoe.
I'm
Jordan
not
1
gonna
low
lie.
red, and and I even asked my homie that works at Jordan Brand, I'm like, yo, why'd you put these out? Obviously knowing that he didn't have it. It's just like, I've never seen those.
Yeah.
But on StockX, brand new, they're like 250, 300. So,
Right.
but it's just like, bro, that shoe's ugly. Like, we
yeah,
don't, like,
being in a store like this, like Chris said, it's like also curation, like like you don't want to turn people down, of course, especially like they're coming to us to sell, and we appreciate them like coming here and taking their time. But at the same time, we want to have a respectable like curation of product in here. And even sometimes we buy stuff that we might not like, but we know that they either have
Your
nostalgia,
buyers, you have to think,
or you
right.
have to take things into consideration that like, oh well, just because I don't like it, it doesn't mean that this person doesn't like it. It's just like how I don't like the neck face dunk, but everybody else likes it.
Right.
Look, that shoe sells in and out.
How does that go with overhead? You know, like, like as far as, you know, you haven't, let's say you're oversaturated on something, but is there a time where you see something that's coming in and you're stacked on too many shoes? Like, how does it feel? Do you know what to take? Because you were saying that you have to think of your buyers for sure.
Most definitely, because like a perfect example, like I'll just use a generic Jordan 1 that we get in a lot, like a Pollen 1. Like there's like it's a good shoe and we do sell it, but in certain sizes, they don't move as well. So we might have like 3 or 4 in that size already. So even if I want to take it because I know it sells, like I either have to just offer store credit or I got to dub it because it's like, yo, we have 3 pairs of that exact size.
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of like also keeping track of what our inventory looks like and like what we need. Or even, again, going back to, like, if you think or know, like, hey, somebody wants this because of nostalgia or just because they think it's cool, like, you can't be scared to take it just because you don't like it or just because, you know, like. Yeah,
like, we get, I love Supreme, like the brand. So we
Bruce
get.
always says best brand.
Yeah. So this guy, a good customer of ours at Round 2, he came in on Thursday, brought in a ton of, like, what I thought was dope Supreme.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's probably not going to sell, or I have to lowball you because it has to be priced right. But just for me, just for that picture, just because I felt like some people are going to look at that picture and be like, damn, I remember this. Damn, that's sick. Stuff like that. So even like a homie came in a couple months ago and DC actually took one of the shoes. He brought in a Supreme half cab, the purple and orange one, and Undefeated Vans, the Seattle Supersonics. None of this generation really cares about that shoe, but to me and DC, that reminded me of the mid 2000s where I was just like, yo, I remember I wanted those. I told the guy, I'm like, yo, I'll give you $80 a piece or $100 a piece. We put them up for $140, which is a steal for such a hard shoe.
For sure. Anything under 200 is a steal in my opinion.
Yeah, but they never sold. But to me, I was like, I'd rather have that shoe sitting here because one thing a lot of people do give us credit for, and I always trip out, is the selection. Because you go into a lot of stores and it's just like, I get it, it's what's selling, Jordan 1 mids and dunks. But you come in here and you see random shit like resins. What other store has a DS resin in their store?
Right.
Yeah.
You get me? Like, it's just like so random. And a lot of people always come in, they're like, yo, you guys have a really good selection.
And a good budget for everyone too.
Exactly. You could come in here and get a $1 shoe or you could get a $10,000 shoe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I even think like I'm looking at the wall for the people listening on podcasts. There's a black Bad Bunny Adidas Forum, and then there's a Sakai, then a pink Bad Bunny, and then there's the J Balvin Jordan 2.
That's a Prada.
And then
That's a Prada
the
Adidas.
Prada, and then a Blazer Off-White, and then a Travis, and then a Jown like Vans, and then the Supreme, obviously the high. So it's like that selection
That's
right
really
there.
good variety for
Where,
sure.
where like I get it now. When someone walks in, they're like, "Oh my god!" It's like a museum. Like so much shit like that they can just come see, and they're like, "Yo, like the amount of stuff in here, like." Just seeing everything and it like brings that person back to like that moment where they went to the concert or whether they like this artist and they think about that, you know?
Yeah, I think with Vega, one thing that we all click with him is that we actually care about this shit.
Yeah,
like it
for
means
sure.
something to us.
Oh, absolutely.
Like we're not in here for the money. Like we actually like I love shoes. I love clothes.
I know. I've been saying that forever. It's I love shoes for so long. And I'm still gonna love them even if they go down to $5. It's just a part of me, you know. It was
To me, it means buy more. Like I'm like, oh, they're accessible. I'm gonna get more.
and it's
Fuck
just
it.
I've always thought,
Easily.
you know, when I was a kid, your shoes are the first thing they look at are your shoes. So I always had the best shoes. So literally, I was the guy with the best shoes in the city or whatever. So I don't know, it kind of always just stuck with me, and I just genuinely love sneakers. What can I say?
No, yeah, and I think people like back in the day, that was what the first thing you looked at, and the scene was so, I would say it wasn't as big, obviously. So anytime you would see somebody with a pair of dunks, like SB Dunk, you'd be like, this guy knows what's up. Like he knows what he's doing.
No, for sure. Especially, I think even now, if I see someone with, you know, DC has a great collection. I saw him wearing some Homers, some Futuras. If I see that, you know, on the street, that's pretty rare these days.
Yeah.
That's cool. I definitely appreciate it. It gives me a good, good throwback. Oh, those are some good memories.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, even sometimes I remember I complimented some kid on that. I don't even know what he was wearing. There were some dunks and they were skated in, and I was like, oh, that's tight. I could tell you're skating your dunks. That's cool. That's
So
super cool.
when you think of Nike SB, this is a question I wanted to ask you. What is like in your head? What dunk pops up in your head first? Like as in like just like in the general market? Because for me, it's the Tiffany dunk, the low top. Like when I think SB.
When I think SB, is definitely, it has to go back to the Four Horsemen, the Reefs Ford Wheat, the Molders, and the Genos. That's what I grew up on, and I'm just that old school. I know there's a lot of good stuff, and that company evolved into from 4 skaters to 40 skaters, but that's just what I grew up on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just how some people grew up on Bone Thugs and then can't listen to current rap. It's
Yeah,
the same
exactly.
stuff. You know?
How about you, Andy?
Low-key, I'm not, I'm a little bit younger. My bad. But I think of the.
But this is a different era. Like
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
I-
Right, of
I-
course.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
anything.
Perspective.
Yeah.
I think of the what is it? The Diamond Canary that SB, right?
The
That-
Complex Con one.
Yeah, the Complex Con one. Because I remember I was there and everyone was going crazy for it, and then they shut down the line, and I was like, "What the fuck shoe did they want?" And everyone was like, "Oh, it's the one in the glass, the one in the glass."
The
and then I
yellow
was
one,
looking
right?
at them like, "Damn, people are going crazy for that." And now it's like, I remember at that point it was going for like 10K because they were like, they canceled it like that day, and they were like, people were getting smacked over the head to try to get like an early pair.
Yeah.
For that one.
Yeah. For me, I would probably say like the Supreme Dunk for sure, both the cement and then like the high top
sure.
star joint.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Those
then
are some
even the
good
diamond
ones.
dunk, just cause like even the diamond thing, like the crazy line they had, and even that dude that was that had the fit on.
Oh, yeah,
if y'all
yeah.
remember.
On
The
La Brea.
Tiffany
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, on La
Tiffany
Brea.
kid.
Picture up so you could insert
Yeah.
it. It's like an iconic picture.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
he's just flexing.
Yeah.
you know?
And I think
He
they even
just-
brought him back for the freaking
For the Canaries.
Yeah,
For the
yeah,
Canaries.
yeah.
Yep.
So like just like those two, just cause of like the history, and I feel like they're just like anybody can wear them, and you kind of know what they are. Like even if you're not really into shoes, like you'll kind of be like, yo, that's like a Tiffany diamond dunk, whatever, or the cement print from the Supremes, because they are the ones that put on the dunks or whatever. So I would say those two.
Yeah, I remember even on YouTube, if you look up what's a hype beast or something like that in the back in the days, it was that kid that was calling and seeing if they were gonna get the Tiffany dunks, and he was calling everybody, and it's like a 5-minute long video, and when he gets the SBs, he's just like, he camps out. It was like a troll video,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
that being back in the day. I was just like, me and Manny would always watch that video to like laugh.
I was so glad I never had to camp out for shoes. Oh my God.
But yeah, SB just did their 20-year anniversary, so that was really good. You actually went to the event, so how was that?
Yeah, it was awesome. First of all, open bar, so me and open bar get along really good. Saw a lot of friends that I haven't seen in a long time, So it was crazy. And then I was telling this to, who was I telling this? It's one of my friends that when I saw Costin and I saw Eric Ellington there, Alyssa Steamer, Brian Anderson, and then there's all these new kids like the Shane O'Neills, the Otis Beasleys, Sean Maltos, and it's like these are the guys who the torch is getting passed to now.
Literally.
Yeah.
So it was just different, and I see, a good friend of mine, Richard Mulder. I saw a photo of him when he one of those postcards, and someone took a photo of him right next to it. So I'm just thinking like, damn, this is crazy. This is like an evolution, and it's crazy to see it evolve to something like this. It's pretty cool, but it was a dope party, and it was based off the Sandy Bodeckers. I did my little twist to it just because I thought the shoe was just so symmetrical, and I wanted it to be very believable. So this was my version of it. I got a lot of good feedback on the internet, and my inspiration behind this was, you remember back in the days when people used to hack their Jordan 1s,
Yeah.
half
Yeah.
cabs, and put tape around it?
Yep.
So I wanted it to be very inspired by skating and something actually looked believable, because I thought like the see-through was just very symmetrical.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I'll probably wear the shoe a few more times and I'll just hang it up. It's a dub shoe. I like it for what it is. Nike Talk days too, early SB, good history behind it, and it threw a good party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to take a little break, and then after you can get a little bit more in detail how you feel about the shoe in general.
All right, cool. Hell yeah.
Great. The legends were crazy though. Those were good.
All right, guys, we're back
Hello.
with Vega, DC,
Bueno.
Andy.
I decided to put my hood on because DC apparently has too much drip always.
Wow.
Gotta get shaded up.
DC is the drippiest guy in here.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Cap.
So yeah, back to it. The eBay dunk.
The
I mean,
Sandys.
dope shoe, but I'll show you some of my guys, my personal favorites, some stuff that it just means so much to me. So
Yeah. Have at it.
definitely my Richard Mulders. Richard is
Signed.
he's a man of God. He's very, inspirational guy. One of my heroes. So this one definitely means a lot to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is a good one for sure.
Yeah.
Good condition still, too.
That's Tim Coleman's favorite shoe.
Yeah, and I like the insoles too. The yellow, really dope insoles.
Yeah.
Since I sold my other one, this is my broke man's version of Reese Ford denims. But same thing, Reese signed these for me, and he signed the box on my wheats too. So unfortunately, I don't have my other ones, but I think I'll get them back.
Yeah.
Quick
I think-
question, since you brought those out. How you feel about that, like, newer shape on the Dunk highs?
Oh, I hate them. Honestly, they feel
Yeah.
so hollow, and I hate the
Bottom,
the
sole,
bottoms.
right?
Yeah, they feel so hollow. I had what was it? The Chicago SBs, and those things felt hollow. How could I explain it? They felt hollow. Like
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the like newer shape. Like I like when they do
because
like,
the
some of
production's a
older
lot.
ones.
They produce
Yeah.
more, so there's trying to save money, I guess. But
Yeah, they just don't fit the same.
they don't fit the same, not at all. I think I liked how what the paws fit. Those fit good.
Those they did more true to the
And
to,
so
like,
did
the OGs, the Supreme Dunks also.
Does that ever bug you when you're like, you couldn't do it? Because there's shoes that like
They do it
like
for
the
'em.
What the Pauls, the Supremes, where like
They
you
even did it for the Travis Scott. That was a
Yeah.
really good
Yeah.
shoe. Yeah, they
Yeah.
did the bottoms, the great material, and they did it for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just,
it's like you
pick
can
and
do it,
choose.
but then you're just like, here's some good colorways, but bad material or
Yeah.
bad shape.
Another sleeper. This was one of my favorite skate shoes too. Was the Air Trainer, and there's nothing SB about it, but like I said, they're still in that kind of test run stage. But this one, they were big. They were behind it, but it flopped in the sales department, so that's why they dropped it. And I think they tried to do another one like
Yeah.
a gray chloroform
Yeah,
or whatever.
chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll colorway.
Yeah, they
did.
did a good promo for it, and same
Yeah.
thing, it botched in the
What
sales
was
department.
like? I never got that. So can you enlighten me on that? Like when I remember I would see like the Halloweens and all that stuff, and I was just like, why are they doing trainers? Like it was just something that they were into, or
I mean, if you really think about it, what didn't get skated eventually?
Yeah.
Everything has been skated, and I think that for me, the shoe's flat.
yeah,
And Nike used to own the company Savior. That was a skate company, and they had a trainer shoe. So I think they were trying to push that into the skating, and it was already like it's a dope shoe.
Yeah.
Their trainers are sick.
Yeah.
So and like I said, for me as a skater, as a flat bottom, and maybe I don't know, maybe this to kind of lock in your foot a little more. I don't know.
yeah. Because I would always trip out because the trainer just in general to me was a good shoe, but then when it was SB, I was just like, where does this?
Where are they
like,
going?
Yeah, where's
I think
this?
the only thing I can say that's SB about it, like for me, this toe guard right here is a little too high.
Yeah.
So it's a little weird on the flick. So to me, this is more of I'm not doing flip trick shoes or I'm just all in and going into grinds. But this toe's a little too high for me at least. But the material is good. It's like it's a suede. I always preferred suede over leather.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Little things like that, I guess, as a skater, just you have your preference. You like your board a certain size, and you like your shit to work a certain way.
Yeah. When you were skating, what was the first part to get blown out? Because I remember for me, it would always be
Laces?
by the pinky side.
Oh,
And it would
absolutely.
always get like a hole in there. Like for the first week, hole in there.
Dude,
off
not even
rip.
for me. It was when I would get let's say if I'm skating a brand new board and I have like a set brand new set of shoes or whatever. I guarantee you by the end of the day I'm gonna rip at least the front lace.
Yeah,
and it's
jeez,
annoying.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why again, this shoe. Everyone would always ask me when I'm skating because these shoes are fucking indestructible. Look at them; they
Looks
look like
like a tank.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
shoes. But at first they were really heavy for the time, but I got used to them, and I don't know for some reason my fakie 360 flips and I don't know just ollies. I felt very Reese Forbes inspired, so I would always think like these shoes would make me ollie higher. So I don't know. I still vouch for these really well.
Nice.
How would you feel about them like retroing those?
They did a Zoom tray, which was the closest thing to a retro. And that was kind of like a more narrow version of it.
Yeah.
And then actually the newest Nigel Houston that came out, if you look at it, it kind of looks, you'll kind of see those little EQ webs.
It does like have like
You
the
see
point
it?
of
Yeah.
yeah.
But I would never wear a Nigel Houston shoe. No offense to him. I don't know. I wouldn't even wear a Janowski, to be honest. Those things are, I don't know, just a little too low for me. And dude, I don't know. You could buy those at, I don't know.
It's like kill shots.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Something like that.
Actually, true story. So he had a Nike deal. He made so much money off that shoe, off of
The
his
first one, the one that's like, kind of like a Sperry.
So he made so much money after they had to renegotiate his contract because they're like, we're paying you too much. So they basically had to buy him out of his contract, and that's a true thing. Yeah, he has the highest signed Nike shoe ever.
Nigel.
Janowski.
Steven Janowski.
Those
Janowski.
Janowskis hit the
definitely
streets
ran
crazy.
those.
Dude,
Like,
insane.
crazy. The floral one, bro.
I remember the floral
the
one.
floral
Dude.
Janowski.
Wow.
I see colors because that shoe's everywhere. Because sometimes I go into the mall just to look at shoes, and I'm like, who is designing it? They put anything out.
I remember they did
like
the Freddy
baby blue with
Krueger.
yellow with rainbow laces.
Was the Freddy Krueger release or a sample? That release, right? The Freddy Krueger Janowski with the blood splatter.
The wino ones.
Oh, the winos,
Yeah.
it was the
That's
winos.
a cool one.
Yeah, I remember we were reselling these things, and I was just like, "Yo, we're resell." Like it literally, I was just like, it was hot. Like everybody wanted this shoe.
That's insane.
I had the Michael Lau ones,
Yeah.
the wooden ones,
Oh, really?
the crazy box and everything.
Yeah.
Because I actually liked the shoe, even though like it didn't age well in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like it was comfortable. It's easy to throw on. It's kind of like a pair of Vans, but
Yeah, it was. It was like
Yeah.
their version of like a throw-on shoe. I would say.
Janowskis.
Yep.
Another dope one. My old buddy Daniel Shimizu's.
Damn, those are actually really nice.
a good
I
one.
always like the insoles on these. In the early SBs, how they all just have those wild insoles.
Yeah, they were all different colors.
Yeah.
So sick. Like the ones on the Flashes, blue insoles.
Yeah, it was a
on the
nice
Todd
hit.
Jordans, he had the orange insoles. So this one's dope. I actually saw Danny at the party.
Fire.
Good dude. I always thought it looked cool, him skating Nikes, because if you look at him, he dressed very 70s
Yeah.
with flare pants. So I thought that was kind of cool. Like you
Yeah.
could wear Nikes and still, a rocker, you know? So that's why I was dope. So
Yeah, and even speaking about that, speaking of rocker, speaking of that shoe, the one shoe that all right, I'm just gonna come clean, that I just found out about like 2 years ago, definitely before the pandemic, was the Iron Maiden one.
Oh, okay.
Where I was like,
That's
yo,
fire.
because Iron Maiden, low key, that's like in my top 5 like rock bands.
Right.
And when I finally seen it, I was like, oh shit, like I never knew they made that. And then I was like, oh, let me look it up. And when I looked it up, I was like, bro. Like, was it because were they always that high, or was it
Yeah,
because
they were
Travis
rare.
wore?
They never
Oh.
came out.
they never came
Yeah,
out.
they never
They
came
actually
out.
had
Oh.
they had a pair at the Nike party on display.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember I saw Travis wear it, and then everyone was like, "Oh, how do you get those? What like?" But is that like another shoe that's up there with like the Freddies and the Paris?
I think it surpassed them. It probably more on the
Jeez.
Paris and the Flams is because it doesn't really exist, but it does.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How many pairs are those? Because
I
I've
heard
only seen a handful.
I heard there's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
8 if I'm
The
right.
circulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, those. I remember I think we had one at Riff, and we would
did.
always just look at it and be like, "The fuck."
How much were they at Riff at that time?
Not for sale.
Nah,
Not
they're
for sale.
Honestly, I don't even think I don't see anything special about them. But I like Iron Maiden, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
'cause
if they
it's just a
did
black shoe
King
with
Diamond,
the-
that'd
But
be
I
a lot better.
remember-
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
just the graphic.
I remember like that sample arrow was crazy because I remember Murad. We used to work with him at Riff.
He was ahead of his time.
Bro,
with the
he
dunks.
had every fucking sample SB to ever. Him and Carl were like SB like nerds. Like
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
I remember he had Freddy Krueger. Oh, no, not Freddy Krueger. What's that? Jason Voorhees lows.
Yeah,
I remember that's just
nobody
like.
had
I just saw one of those for sale on Instagram for 25K. Literally before I got
And I
here.
remember that era, these samples were like 1,500, 2,000, and we
Oh, yeah,
thought like
for
yo,
sure.
That
it's
was
crazy.
expensive at
Yeah.
that time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know obviously we're talking about like all these crazy shoes and like the amount of money that like 50K, 25K, like David sold his for 50K. Like, what do you say to like the kids that are like seeing these shoes and being like, damn, I'm probably never gonna be able to do that? Like, what else can they do with that money besides buy these crazy shoes?
They could get a lot. They could do a lot of stuff. They could they could travel the world, learn
Yeah.
about culture, learn about other things that are more important about than sneakers. Learn how to be learn how to be a good human. I can barely say that, because I'm not the best one. But yeah, I mean, honestly, instead of investing into being stressed out of getting the coolest pair of Travis Scotts, why don't you take that money, go to Thailand, learn something completely different, and come back a new person? I think traveling is by far the best thing, and being true to yourself too. That is, I don't know. But I guess the best life lesson
Yeah.
is just being true to yourself.
Yep.
I never try to force feed anything down me. I always knew I looked different. I had long hair. I was into different shit at a early time, sorry. But I mean, that was always just me. Just because I like a rock band don't mean I can't wear a Louis Vuitton bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because I'm a certain color don't mean I can't listen to hip hop. You know what I mean? You're yourself. You could create yourself. It's kind of like create a skater on Tony Hawk. You could put whatever you want on him. So I think that's what it is. It's not a trend, it's a lifestyle. And then once you figure out that lifestyle, then that's who you are. It took me a long time to find that out, probably on my second or third chapter of my life. But, you know, there'd be times where I'm, you know, overseas, I'm drinking a beer on a bench by myself and just taking it all in. Like, this is great. You know, my shoes are covered in dirt. I don't give a fuck about these shoes, you know. Life's too short to just be worried about trying to flex on someone and trying to look cool. Yeah. At the end of the day, what are you going to do? You just want attention from guys, which, with no offense, that's okay. But if that's what you're going for, then I don't know. But, I mean, you know, like everyone just, I don't know. It's not that serious. They're just shoes. I mean, if you go to my house, most of my shoes are on the floor. They have insoles missing. I don't even take care of my shoes, to be honest. They're just there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just kind of like something that's a part of you that's just like, you're not just like, oh, yeah, but that's just me. I'm not doing it to be somebody else.
No. It's just like we were saying, I just love the culture. I love the sneakers. I've been down with this since day one, and ain't shit ever going to change. You know what I mean? Because I'm OG. You know, I got that stamp of approval from everyone online. So shout out to all my fans and supporters.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, we're open Tuesday to Sunday.
There we go. Pull up on us.
We do like gifts, and we like taking your money, especially DC, because this guy will finesse the shit out of you.
No. But I guess even like going back to that, like just wearing, like I even see Briss, like his Dior's are smoked. And people are always looking at him like, are you crazy? You took him to Coachella. How could you?
He
and
did
like,
take him to Coachella.
And
I was
people
tripping out.
Are like going crazy. Like if he's committing a sin or something. But I'm like, that's just him. Like that's just.
I used to be the same. I'm telling you, when I used to skate Supreme Dunks, everyone would look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm thinking, they're just shoes, dude.
Yeah.
It's not that serious. And I've sold so much shoes off. Like I was telling Chris, this was my first. It was probably a dunk exchange. I was wearing black cement 3s from 01. And some guy goes up to me, and like I'm 14 or 15, and he offers me $500. That's a shitload of money when you're a kid. So, fuck it. I sold them, and then I got some Vans out of my friend's car.
Easy, easy, gone. Yeah, that happened to me with Andy. My Louis Vuitton graffiti jeans. He posted me wearing them, and then his homie hit him up. He says like, "Yo, tell him I'll give him 3 bands right now. I paid $1,900 for this after tax and everything." And I literally said, I was like, bro, put on some Eric Emanuel shorts if you pick some up right now.
I think the thing is about not just me, it's all of us. I think we've been around the shit for so long where we don't even care. Like, we've seen so much stuff, and you probably held stuff that hasn't seen the light of the day. You just don't care, you know?
It's like, I always tell people this, like, people are so quick to, like, social media attention and stuff like that.
Right.
And sometimes, even, like, I remember somebody that used to work for Nike in New York told me, he was just like, yo, if you posted half the things you do or half the things your day, they're like, you'd be so lit on Instagram. And I was just like, I don't care.
Yeah, you don't care. I know you don't care. Yeah, he doesn't care.
But it's just like, I think people are so quick to flex and all that, and like the attention, and it's just like, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, bro, just do it because you genuinely like it. Like, where was I? I went with one of my friends to a Knicks game. And same thing, we got like comp seats, or whatever's. And this guy's on Instagram is like this, like, oh, Knicks. And I was sitting next to him, I was enjoying the game. This was just on his phone.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, like, what's the, like, you're not even watching the
game.
Yeah. It's like, I think people forget to live in the moment. And again, it's like the whole fuck it thing. Like, I'm just there, you know? I tell Andy all the time, I just exist. I just literally just exist. Like, whatever happens, like, happens, you know? Like, I'm just like, Like,
I always think it's just, it's not that serious.
No.
Yeah, it's not that serious. Not even just shoes, just everything in general.
You know?
Absolutely. Have fun with it.
And I think it's like that moral of the story of like, it, in a way, like, it'll come to you when it's time, or you'll find your own community that fucks with whatever you fuck with. Like you're saying, like, you skate, you liked it, you saw these people grow up, and then now it's like, damn, it just so happened they all got Nike deals, they all got lit, and then that made you lit because you were into it and you already had it, and people were like, oh my God, but you're like, hey, I've been doing this. Like, before, it was cool.
Yeah, it's not even, like, if my friend on the other side, you can't see him, but he said a good thing about, he was describing my story. Like, I'm fanning out about the FCs and the URLs, EQs, rather than the typical people, the one to dunk wall, the blah, 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 the same 5 girls. And someone even asked me, they're like, what would you wear on the what the dunk wall? And I looked at them, I said, I would take the chemises first. That would be the shoe of choice. Like, I never cared for Paris's. Like, I get it. It's a multi, $1,000 shoe or whatever, but I don't care for it. You know what I mean? I don't care. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good way to end it.
Yep.
Just be yourself. Everything will come around into fruition whether you think it's cool and other people don't. Like I think from what you can hear, like we all had a little story of when we used to skate or when we thought this was cool and that was cool, and then now that like they were saying they bought this stuff because they liked it, but little do they know like a lot of people like it now, and it's just that's just life. Things come around in circles,
Just do what you like.
Yeah.
I feel like I always get that on the TikTok comments. They're like, "What doesn't Briss like?" And I'm just like, "Yo, if you like it, you like it. If I don't,
He
like
doesn't
it, I
like
don't
selling
like it."
me Syndicate merch apparently because it's always sold out when I want it. I don't know.
No, but yeah, it's just like just do you. Like I think we're all like in the same world, so it's just like you might like something that I don't like, and it's just like there's no problem with that. And I think a lot of people second guess that, and they will always jump on something after they see it being successful.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're like they
Right.
won't start it and they'll like for example, like let's say for us Syndicate, it's like we're building a core community, and then later on you never know, like what if we blow up, then all these people out of nowhere, which are the more the merrier, like if you want to be part of this community, great, I love it. But I feel like people are like, oh damn, who's this store now, like who's this,
for
like
sure.
or even with anything, it's just like, oh, like when a trend comes in at the start, people are scared to hop on it, but then once it's big, then you're just on it again. So I think people always mess up on that.
Yeah, and I think like once again, like Vega was here, it literally before it was open, and I think when it really gets lit, he's gonna be like, "I told y'all,
Yeah.
I was here."
Yeah, I remember he brought
Gum
Dirk
done
too.
told
Like
ya.
they were all here. Like
Yeah,
they
for
were
our
like
opening.
I still remember like our first sale, like who was here that night. And it's like if you couldn't make it, I'm not against it. You couldn't make it, but it's just like it's like that. Just do you. Literally, that's it. The moral of the story is do you.
Yeah, do you? And as like I was even telling him, like there's so much merch that like Skinny was pumping out. I was doing a little stuff here and there. And now that same merch, a year later, people are like, "Oh, I need that hat, I need that tee." So I'm
When you
like,
got
"All right,
dropping
cool, got to recycle it now because now it's like it's coming around now. Where people, we just got to be patient. So just be patient and just be yourself."
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, people just forget that we're not celebrities, we're not influencers, we're just a normal dude.
I know. I used to get so many DMs from people thinking I'm the most conceited person and the asshole, but that's just the character I play online. That's what I do because I'm in entertainment. I'm in nightlife, and even before that, I was doing professional wrestling. So I'm just normal like anyone else. You take your time to say hi to me, I'm gonna say hi to you. But if you're sending me some weird stuff on Instagram of trying to blah blah blah, talk sneakers, I'll probably ignore you, to be honest. Yeah, I'd rather talk about coffee or video games. I do speedruns Resident Evil, so if anyone wants to do some competition, and I'm also undefeated in Mortal Kombat 2, so bring the smoke, baby, because I play for money. Oh, and Smash Brothers 2, I'll whip your ass with King K roll.
There we go.
Cool.
All right. Thank
Well,
you
shout out
guys.
everybody. Thank you guys for
Appreciate
watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. Thank you, Vega, for coming
and
out.
again, thank you, Syndicate, for the platforms, for giving me the opportunity
Yes,
to
sir.
tell my story of how much I love this skateboarding shit, because that's who I was and that's who I'm going to be. So thank you again. See you on the flip side. Vega out.
And we gotta hit the deck now.
For sure. We got
I got 10. I got 10.
I got 20 right now.
Damn, you already, like 40 for the day?
Yeah, bro. I'm at 30.
I wonder you're all buff.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Especially becoming nothing now.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Dude is like, I'm going to take off my shoe. It might snap.
See, hey, we're accountability. We're doing the push-ups. I'm at 60. DC, what are you at?
I got 20 right now.
No, like in total from today.
This is just
48.
controlled.
Briss, he probably got like 80 going on right now. Cindy Fit coming soon. I remember Vega at the 1 year you started doing push-ups. You remember that?
Yeah, Chris was scared of Big Papa Pump. I was like, I'll do.
Yo,
We're
we
gonna do
saw
the first ever Syndicate Max Out Bench Press competition.
Low key.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hold up, I have to say something real quick.
Wait. Get the camera. Get the camera.
Get the mic, get the mic, get the mic.
Get the mic. Get the mic.
Vega low-key motivated me for the gym. He made a post once saying, "Don't hit the weight room unless you could do 12 dips."
oh, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
that day I went to the bar and I did 15 and I was just like, I bet I could lift.
There we go.
All right. I gotta ask the fans this. Should we have the first ever Syndicate bench press competition?
Yeah.
We'll do it a pair of shoes on the line.
Well, I
We
mean,
could do
Briss-
reps or max. I'm willing, or we could just keep it at Columbine weight and we'll do 2 plates.
Reps.
Reps.
Damn.
I like reps.
How many plates could you do on reps on 2 plates?
How
many plates?
That heavy. The heaviest I've gone is a quarter, a plate.
And a quarter?
A plate and a quarter?
A plate, quarter, and a 10. And I could do 8 to 10 reps on that.
Hey, everyone see what I could do on
Bro,
2
I've
plates.
seen you, bro.
Everyone gets surprised how strong I am. I'm so strong. Like,
You got that wrestling streak.
yeah, absolutely, dude. It was all the time just pushing away all these ugly girls when they try to come to
Yo,
me.
like, Willie's a power lifter, bro.
Yeah.
He likes that one.
Yeah.
And I'm good on that, bro. I need to rep it. Like, I need to rep this shit.
Willie thinks he's getting big, but the only thing getting big is his belly.
Yeah, chillin'.
We always joke around, like obviously playful joking. And we're like, bro, you got to do cardio
Yeah,
first.
absolutely.
You know, like,
Oh my God. When I tell this to everyone too, once you start getting your wind up, all those reps become so much easier.
Yeah.
Like I could rep 2 plates for 12 on a good day. I could do it 15. That's pretty damn impressive. And on the incline with the 90 dumbbells, I could hit that 15.
I think with like the gym, I feel like a lot of people like are scared to look weak.
Right.
And that's the thing. And that's the
Ego
thing, like,
lifting.
bro, it's
Yeah.
all ego lifting. Like I go and I do the what are these things called when you
Ladder races?
Yeah.
ladder races? I grab 15.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Literally,
Yeah.
Yeah.
boom.
It's all about
Yeah.
contracting the muscle, baby.
Yeah,
you gotta
literally.
feel it, baby.
Yeah, but then some people are like grabbing 30. So I'm like, bro, you're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they're not even like going all the way up.
Yeah, exactly.
Cindy Fit coming
Fit
soon.
coming soon.
Range
Thank you,
in
Vega.
motion, range
Vega.
in motion, baby. Let's
Thank
get
you,
it
Vega.
deep.
Give
and
Willie a
explode.
message, bro, please.
All right, Willie.
All right. We out. Like,
All
comment,
right,
rate,
this is
subscribe.
Mr. Squat. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to squat. We're gonna stop doing that max, and we're gonna make you do some cardio. We're gonna get you on a diet, and then you're gonna look like Jean-Claude Van Damme in 6 months.
There we go.
Be like that.
Cindy Store credit out.
Out, baby.